Cindy Miller again, coming to you with another lesson on how to deal with anxiety, panic attacks, and depression. I am excited about tonight's lesson because it's going to give you some very practical tools to use when you're experiencing anxiety, panic, or depression. The first thing I want to tell you is about let you know what anxiety is and why we even experience it. And the first thing I want to tell you is from being a nurse, going to school for 4 years, and then being a nurse for over 33 years, I'm a firm believer that this body that we live in is amazing. And God made it with its own self-protective mechanisms. And the strongest drive in the human body is homeostasis, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And homeostasis, the dictionary says, is a self-regulating process by which our body tends to maintain stability while adjusting to conditions that are best for our survival. So, for homeostasis, this is my representation. What your body is always striving for is to keep, if I can do it now, keep that bubble in balance. That's what everything inside of you wants to maintain, is balance. Let's say I cut my finger, okay? Now the body goes, oops, something's off. There's something wrong. So a self-preserving mechanism within our body is the healing process. That process includes bleeding, number one, that actually washes out the wound itself. And then it also rushes in nutrients and white blood cells to help heal that wound. Okay, so as the healing process works the way it's supposed to, we come back to homeostasis, or balance. And so we can continue to survive, and that wound heals all up. Now, let's say our homeostasis safety mechanism doesn't work for some reason, because there might be too much of something, too much dirt in the wound, too many germs in the wound, or our body overreacts and makes too many white blood cells. That causes an infection. That screws up our homeostasis and our attempts at balancing. So what do we have to do? We have things we can do to try to get this back in balance. One of those things is you go to the doctor. He cleans up that wound, he gives you an antibiotic, and then wraps it and takes care of it and tells you how to take care of it. So it brings you back to homeostasis as that wound heals. Okay? Now, anxiety is another safety mechanism that's in our body. When there's something stressful or scary in our lives, we feel anxiety. And it's actually a safety mechanism. And anxiety, according to the dictionary, is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent threat. Now, the reason it's a safety mechanism is, let's say I go walk outside today and there is a bear in my front yard. All of a sudden, I feel anxiety. My homeostasis is way off balance, okay? So my anxiety safety mechanism kicks in with the fight or flight system, which prepares my body to either fight that bear, which that would be stupid, or run from the bear. And that's what I'm voting for, is running from the bear, okay? Now, when we get off balance with anxiety, we have certain processes that take place. The first thing is your heart starts beating faster, okay? And that is so you have more blood going to your muscles so you can run or fight. Adrenaline is dumped into your system so that you can react quickly and fast because bears are fast. Any sugar that we've stored up in our body is also dumped into our blood system so that muscles have energy to work on. We start to sweat so that we can cool off as we're running or fighting. Our pupils start to dilate or get bigger so that we can see more things around us and make better decisions on what to do. All those things I just described to you, if you've ever had a panic attack, that's what it feels like. Your heart starts racing, you get all tense, your eyes are looking around for a way out, and it's a very uncomfortable feeling, okay? And you can't get yourself back to homeostasis, okay? So what can you do? All right, now, this is my example. Whenever you're having an anxiety attack, a panic attack, or depression episode, you stop and you make yourself a BLT. And if you know what that is, that's a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. And the only reason I use this is so that it's very easy for you to remember when you're in a panic or a depressive episode, okay? Now, the B represents how did it begin? What was going on when you first start feeling this anxiety rising up? Because that's where you're gonna find the solution to it, okay? As we get off balance with anxiety and it runs rampant, remember these puzzle pieces we talked about on the first lesson? They're going like this and they're going crazy inside of you. And these represent emotions and traumas and hurts that we have not dealt with. We're going to use these more later on, but I wanted to bring some of these out. These are some of the puzzle pieces I have to represent some of the emotional pain that can be part of that puzzle. What you're trying to figure out under the B is what negative emotions are being stirred up. One day I was heading to the doctor's because I wasn't feeling good. I go out to get in my car and I have a flat tire. Oh gosh, oh my gosh. So these puzzle pieces start rattling within me, okay? And I think, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late for the doctor's appointment. He's not going to fix what's going on. I'm not going to find out what it is. And oh my gosh, I could even die from this. Well, my gosh, I just went off on an anxiety attack, okay? So I stop and I say, how did it begin? What was going on? What emotion was I feeling that could have stirred up all this anxiety? And I chose one of the main ones a lot of us can have trouble dealing with is hopelessness, okay? And so in that, I've had a lot of times in my life where I felt hopeless, okay? So that's what was being stirred up, knocking me off balance, okay? So that's B. L represents what is the lie that feeling, that emotion is telling you. I'm not going to get to the doctor. There's no way I'm going to be on time. The doctor's going to give up on me. All those lies that you're hearing. And I even thought of the lie, I'm going to die from this. Hopelessness being stirred up, okay? And it's all because it's part of the puzzle that I haven't dealt with yet, okay? Last week, we go to T of BLT. What is the truth? Stop listening to the lies and say, what is the truth? Will I really die because I don't make it to one doctor's appointment? Well, is there absolutely no way else for me to get to a doctor's appointment? No, that's lies. The truth is I have family members, I have loved ones, I have neighbors, I have lots of people that I can get on the phone, get someone over, and that's exactly what happened is I went through the BLT process, I said, okay, what started this? I felt hopeless. What was the lie it was telling me? And that was that everything's just crumbling, that I was hopeless. But what is the truth? The truth is, I can call up any member of my family, and they came and they ran and got me to the doctors, and everything was taken care of, and everything got better. For you, on an everyday basis, when you're experiencing an anxiety attack, a panic attack, or a depressive episode, stop and make yourself a BLT sandwich, okay? How did it begin? What's the lie it's telling you? And what is the truth? For me, I like to use the Bible as my truth. For hopelessness, what's the truth in the Bible about hopelessness? God says that believers are never forsaken. They always have hope. Always remember, BLT, the beginning, the lie, the truth, and get yourself back in balance, back in homeostasis. Now, this is a great lesson, but we'll be doing more lessons, a lot of them to do with these puzzle pieces. If you've enjoyed them and they've helped you, please use the button below to subscribe, and we will have follow-up videos coming out in the very near future. So many people are suffering from anxiety and panic and depression in the world today. And it's really because everything that we thought was stable and that we could rely on is being shaken up. Kind of like this box of puzzle pieces, okay? Everything is being shaken. So we need to find stability. We need to be able to find balance. And that's the things that I'm trying to share with you, is what God taught me. Because I am telling you, my past, my life, it was all over the place. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. And if you've read my book, you understand that. But I'm telling you, by trusting in God and following His wisdoms that He's given me through all these lessons I'm going to share with you, I have found balance in my life. And that balance brings about the fruits of the Spirit. And that's what I want to put out there to bring into other people's lives today, because there's just not enough balance in the world, okay? So hopefully this will help bring balance to you, and further lessons will dig deeper into the puzzle pieces and how to work with those. And I hope you enjoy all the lessons that God has given me. Not so that I can say, oh, I'm so smart, I'm telling you this. I tell you these because I've been there. I've needed these lessons. I've needed BLT in my life, okay? Very, very badly. And that's the only reason I share these lessons with you, is because I have experienced them myself. I have used these techniques, and they have brought great balance into my life.